my name is Mike, and I'll be walking you through the online field trip request system. For most schools, the journey begins when you receive a welcome email, and the welcome email has your user ID, which is your school email, and it also has a link that says click here to set your login password. I'm going to click here, and it's going to take me to a screen where I can enter my username, which is my school email. Do not put in your personal email. Do not put in your Gmail account or anything other than your school email. And then you can enter your password. You should do at least 8 characters, one uppercase, one lowercase, one number, so that it's secure. And then I'm going to click reset, and it will give me a link. Click here to log in. I'm going to click the link. I'm going to put in my school email address. I'm going to put in my password. Do not click create new user. Do not click the Active Directory button. The only thing you're going to do is fill in your school email address and your password. And if you forget your password, click I forgot my password. Don't call transportation because they don't know your password. No one can know it but you. And they can't reset your password either. But you can reset it for yourself. You just click I forgot my password, and it will prompt you for your email address, and that's your school email. And then it will send you an email to reset your password. I'm going to click login, and it brings me to my main screen. From here, I can do a new request, manage my favorites, view old requests under history. Settings is used to move yourself to a new school. So if you become a teacher in a different school or an athletic coach, you can move yourself to a new place to request trips. I'm going to click new request, and that takes me to this screen, which has a left side and a right side to it. So on the left side, as I go down, the first thing is group or activity. I'm going to pick choir, and note that there's a red asterisk. That means this must be filled in. I'm also going to pick in Title I Admin Reserve Code, and that's because I don't know what budget code to pick, but you should know which budget code. Find the correct budget code and put it on your trip. Now, if you're doing a trip that is direct funding, you will need to put in the billing address. It's not required because most trips don't have that, but you do need to put it in or it won't be approved if you don't put in the billing address where you're getting the funding from. You'll put in your phone number or the cell phone of whoever is going to be the contact for the trip. So that's my cell phone number. Pickup point, there should only be one, and that's your school. Now you might think, well, wait a minute, I want to be picked up at the front door or at the flagpole or behind the school. That goes under special instructions. So I can say, pick us up at the flagpole, please. And those are my special instructions of where I want to be picked up. But for here, it's just the building and the address. For the destination, we can certainly pick one, but not all of them have addresses. You can use the Google Maps link. That will bring up Google Maps in a tab to the right of this trip. You simply click put in your information of where you want to go, look up the address, and then unfortunately it won't populate for you. Google doesn't let us do that, but you can copy and paste the address into here, and you won't lose your trip when you go to Google Maps. It'll just open in a new tab, and then you go look to the left of it, and you'll see the tab for this trip. So I'm going to put 1 Main Street, and I'm going to put Anaheim, I'm guessing, California. The zip is not required, so you don't have to put that. If I go up to the top right-hand side, I can say this is a round trip. Yes, the driver is going to stay with the group. And then I can put in my departure date. Now, this must be 2 weeks in advance. If it is not, then it will be required for special approval. If you put in something under 2 weeks, instead of going directly to the principal, it will go to transportation, where they will have to say whether they have the resources, the drivers and buses, to do the trip. You'll have to put in a reason of why you requested the trip on such short notice. And if they don't approve it, it won't go to the principal. So to be safe, make sure you request them 2 weeks out. Now you can also put in as a depart time. If I just put the number 8, it converts it to 8 a.m. If I put 3P, it converts it to 3 p.m. So if I put 320P, 3:20 p.m., 815P, 8:15 p.m. So it'll convert that for you. You don't have to put the colon in the space. Notice that it says here for athletic trips only. Sometimes athletics does not know until the day before what time the trip's going. So if that's the case, put 1 a.m. for your time. It does require a time, so you have to put in 1 a.m. And then down below, you would put in your notes, this trip is TBA, depending on the tournament or whatever. And then transportation will know that that 1 a.m. is not a literal time. For vehicle type, you're going to pick what type of vehicle you're going to be using. The number of vehicles you're going to put in, let's just say I want 2. And then for other vehicles needed, don't worry, you don't have to fill that in. It's not required. It's only if you need another type of vehicle, like a wheelchair bus. You would not put in the same vehicle type twice because you could just simply add to the quantity if you need another one. You don't need to pick it under other vehicle needed. So that's only when you have a different vehicle type. I can then put in how many adults, how many students, and actually that probably is too many. I'll say 60. And then actually it's a 24 passenger van, so let's put 45. And then wheelchair, I'll put 0. You have to put something because it does have a red asterisk, but you don't have to put in a number if you don't have one. And then you can put for harnesses and lunches needed, those are optional fields. As soon as I put this in, I hit the submit button and it tells me that it's put in my trip. Now I can click the link to this trip and re-enter it. And when I re-enter the trip, I can review it. I can cancel the trip. Now you can cancel it as long as it's still in the approval process. Once it's received final approval and it's in dispatch, you can no longer cancel it. When you hit cancel, it will say cancellation pending. It will send a message to the transportation department telling them that you want to cancel the trip, but until they change the status to canceled, it's only going to be pending cancellation. But as long as it's not in the hands of the transportation department, as long as it's still in the approval process, you can cancel the trip or change the trip. So you can make changes to it as well. But if you change it and it's already been approved by the principal and it's in another approver, it will return to the principal because any changes need to be accepted by every approver. So if you make a change and it's already been approved, it will have to be approved all over again. It does send an email to the people that are approving the trip so they will know that they have to approve the trip. I can put in for my new favorite, let's see, choir. I want to have this be a trip I do once a year, so I'm saving this as a favorite. I can say create favorite, and now if I click OK, look at that. I now have a favorite called choir. And I can, if I click that link, it brings up, it looks like the same trip, only this one is a new one. No date, no time. You just fill in the dates and times, you resubmit it, and you're ready to go. So isn't that neat? Favorites can save you a lot of time. When you click the trip ID, you'll also notice on the left-hand side, it gives you a little history of when you requested the trip. I'm going to log out now, and I'm going to log in as principal6 at bushive.k12.ca.us, and I'm going to put in my super secret password. And now look, there is the trip that was requested by test requester. So I can, to approve it, I can simply click approve, hit approve checked, or I can actually go into the trip, click the link, scroll all the way down to the bottom. If I say not approved, it will send it back to the requester and I can put a reason. You did not pick the right budget code. Now it will send it back to the requester, and then they'll have the chance to fix it. It will not force them to request the trip all over again. They can simply fix the trip, resubmit it, and it will go back to the principal again. So it's okay to say not approved if you want more information or better information. But I'm going to approve this trip. I'm going to say submit, and this trip is going to be submitted for approval. Now I'm going to log out, log back in as my requester. Actually, I think did I put that in? Yes, so I can just copy and paste here to make my life easy. So I'm going to log in, and now it says waiting for transportation. Now, waiting for transportation means it's been approved, but we're waiting for the bus garage to, or the transportation provider to review it and set it to ordered. There's no approvals needed at this point. It's just the status is waiting for transportation. And when they finally approve it in the bus garage, it will say ordered. So I can click this link and review it. And I see if I make a change, it says principal. It would start all over again if I were to make a change to it and submit it. Okay, now if you have Once the trip is ordered, if you have any requests for changes to the trip, you will see at the top here, it will say message and give you a button to send. You can message from within this trip and it will send that message to the transportation provider and they can message you back. So if you want to change the time to 5 p.m., once the trip is in the hands of transportation, what you do is you message them. And then once they receive that message, they can message you back. And all of those messages are stored with the trip and stored in the transportation software. This way, there's never any confusion. It's just like I like to say, like if you order a package from Amazon, you don't have to call them or email Amazon. You just go in, you request your change, and then you wait for notification to see that it's happened. And there will be emails between going back and forth the whole way. So you will get emails that include the information in that message. So you should use the messaging feature to message the transportation department when you have a question or when you have something that you want to instruct them to do, like a different pickup time or a different pickup location. So that's our review of the transportation field trip request software, fieldtriprequest.com. If you need any help, you can click the help button and it will bring up a document which also gives you an overview of the entire program. So you can see for yourself everything we covered today is in there, as well as the different statuses. So you see how it shows ordered when the trip has been ordered. So feel free to look at that. And again, my name is Mike, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation.